Hey everyone, another video with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Originally it was going to be Jedi Knight 2 because I just recently got it from eBay. Unfortunately, it didn't work on the 360. Every other game works except for that. Because apparently it was only Jedi Academy which worked. Which, okay, fair enough, but it costs way too much. It's still, like, the cheapest version of that you can get is literally friggin' $40 or $45. That's it. It's dumb. It's extremely dumb. Ah well. Make that 1 point. So that's a bit of a bummer because I really like Jedi Academy 2. I mean, I've got it on PC and I play it on PC and stuff, and I can just record that. But I always wanted to know what it felt like, the gameplay and stuff on a controller, because I felt like on a controller, it works better. Like on a controller, it always feels like it's like for sword fighting sort of games and stuff. It feels better. So yeah. Oh, so a few things I want to talk about today is how DICE are doing their DLC plans and stuff like the old EU and why Battlefront 2 can pull a Battlefield 4. Sorry about that. For those that don't know, Battlefield 4 when it was released was, well, terrible. It was basically a Battlefront 2 without the Battlefront 2. It was pretty bad. It was glitchy, it screwed up, there was just, it was crazy. But DICE fixed it with free content, the DLC. They've really fixed it. So the idea is, for me, I think Battlefront 2 2017 can be fixed in time, and that's what I've been saying. And the good thing is, it's free DLC and stuff like that. The only thing you might be able to pay for, or have to, would hopefully be customization slash like skins and stuff, which is the perfect way to do it. Absolutely the perfect way to do it. Oh, we got droids. So for me, that's I always have that in the back of my mind that that's what we'll be getting. We'll be getting a sort of like, hey, Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017 is going to be fixed, and I hope they do fix it because, my God, that game is amazing. And after the recent patch with, which is something I haven't talked about, with like the arcade and stuff being all maps are now in arcade, it feels a lot better. For me, Battlefront 2 will be one of my favourite Star Wars games if we get a big offline conquest sort of mode where we can do vehicles and stuff, and obviously better AI and things like droidicas can be used by the AI and stuff like that. That for me would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. And more Clone Wars content, because that's it. Because one, I grew up with the first Battlefront 2, and I grew up with the Clone Wars and the prequels and stuff, so that draws me in. And a lot of people are like, who cares? We want more OT. And it's like, guys, we've had how many DLC and stuff do we have for the OT trilogy in the first game, which was the whole game. That was more OT focused. So if you want OT focus, go there. And then you look at the second game and it's like, well, okay. Like, the second game has more OT stuff as well. So why? You've got your OT stuff. Shut up and let the people that love the prequels and such to get more content. You can't really put more content from the sequel trilogy because they're not there yet. Maybe after the third film, they might have a big boost in, you know, imagination and good filmmaking to actually make a good film and, well, a good universe for Star Wars in terms of imagination. But that ain't going to come probably till the third movie. So right now, the one thing that really needs and can have a shit ton of content is the Clone Wars. And that's what everybody wants. At least that's what most people want, fan-wise. Because, well, the prequels are awesome, Clone Wars are awesome, and I want Geonosis, Utapau, Mustafar, Felucia, Ackley, you know, stuff like that. Because let's be honest here. Let's be absolutely honest here. If you give that to us, and obviously offline modes and stuff like that, you win. You absolutely. I like this. I think that crushes. Yes, it crushes. So you automatically win, which is awesome. Because for me, that's a 10 out of 10. For me, that would turn into a 10 out of 10. as a Star Wars game goes, because you've got offline content, better AI, and they can use special units like droidekas and some bad droids and stuff like that. And, you know, vice versa for the other hero ranges and eras. And then really all you have to do is do that, add the ability to play as anyone on any map. So if you wanted to play the First Order on the Death Star too, you could do that. That'd be great. And versing the clone troopers, that'd be awesome. Give us that, give us a big conquest mode, and more Clone Wars, and you've got yourself a good game. And to be truthful, those can be easily implemented. The ability to have different eras, easy done. That's literally it. Mods have done that. The ability to add special units to the game, again, mods have done that, but also it was in the campaign. You play the campaign, they've got heavies, they've got flame troopers, they've got all those like special units. They even have jump troopers as well in the campaign for AI movements, and it works pretty well. So yeah, they can do it. They absolutely can do it. So that's 3 things that I'm asking for, and they can do it. And obviously big conquest mode they said they're working on as well, so that's another thing. But then you've got things like the ability, I guess you could say, to create more content. Of course, this is where I come and talk about the new progression system and stuff like that. They've said that they want to release more content, and then things like seasons will probably be afterwards. And I imagine that, so they've also said that they want to get their 4 weeks, I think it's 3 to 4 weeks client patches, which is basically add content to the game, to go from 3 to 4 weeks to, well, 2 weeks. I think that sort of way of thinking is plausible and will happen sometime after they finish the progression system, the new progression system and all that. Once that's finished, I'm pretty sure I 100% feel like they're going to be like, alright, cool, that's finished, let's start working on content. Because right now they're releasing small drips of content, which is actually not too bad, depending what they add, I guess, but the small drips of content isn't as bad as I thought they would be. When we die, anyway. So they're adding small drips of content. Great, love it. Once we basically get confirmation that they've brought back microtransactions, hopefully in a better way, plus the ability to customize and stuff like that, I imagine after that's happened, they're going to look and see how their sales are and go, alright, how much money we made off of that? We made a lot of money? Sweet, let's continue making content. And then that's when they'll probably be like a month or 2 after that. I'm hoping a month, depending how big their team is. After that, they're going to be like, alright, cool, what next? Oh, cool, we've got this content. Alright, let's start releasing massive amount of content, or at least more content every 2 weeks. And then you get a season and stuff like that. I think that's what they want to do, and I wouldn't surprise me, and I hope they do that, because, like I said, by the end of the year, this game, Battlefront 2017, is going to be a fantastic Star Wars game. Absolutely. And that's the thing I hated about reviewers at the time. Like, first up, the reviewers that said, oh, the microtransactions, it's like they literally turned it off before they had the game out, at least the full game. Well, at least the original release date, not the deluxe edition, but they still took it out. And they lowered, like, the pricing and stuff, and yet reviewers are dumb enough to be like, oh, so you count that as a negative. Why? They got rid of it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You're going to give a game a lower score because they took content out? Oh, but they said to bring it back. Oh, you really think that after the shitstorm that made them stop it, they're going to bring it back 100% how it was? Oh, that's smart thinking right there. Fucking hell, I tell you, some people out there should not be reviewers. I mean, I think this generation of people shouldn't be reviewing anything, because we're just so nitpicky and childish and just bastards. We are. We complain over everything. We don't think. We just run and deal with it. It's like, oh, I work as a reviewer. I know what I'm talking about. Ugh. It's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking hell. Is that? And also, there's no waiting anymore. Nobody's patient anymore. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's hard to be patient over things. And in a way, I would say some of the content that we should have gotten in the base game should have been there from the start. But I wasn't when they said, oh, we're going to have DLC free, and they said it was like, and it's been 2 years since the release of the first game, I thought, okay, even though there's 3 studios, 2 years working on a game is not a good amount of time. And even with that amount of time, they still made a superior game to the first game. So, if you use your brain, it's not that big of a deal. Because again, free DLC, that's the biggest thing there. Free DLC is like the best thing ever. And of course, they need to have revenue from it. And the revenue that DICE had to implement was stupid, which isn't DICE's fault. I think it's EA 100%. Because, well, EA wants money, but they don't want money in a smart way. Because think about customization. That's it. That's the best way. Customization for your weapons, customization for anything, really. New skins, stuff like that. Of course, if you're going to give us skins, you should give us a free amount of skins and say, if you want more, you can get this and this, and stuff like that. Skins for heroes and stuff. There's hundreds of skins from heroes. From old canon to new canon to even the old extended universe, new extended universe. And the movies and the TV shows and stuff like that. There's so much like things that you can create that it's weird for me that it doesn't exist. Like, it's not there for a lot of people. It's strange, absolutely strange. But I guess I can understand that. And I guess it also depends as well. Like, say for Kylo, if they could give him a Darth Revan sort of skin, that'd be great. But then again, would they be able to have Darth Revan in there, because he's not exactly what you'd call a canon character? So that's where it's like, what are they going to bring? That's the downside for bringing a canon Star Wars game into a video game form when the old canon was wiped out and you haven't really got much to work on, because it's like, well, you know, the old good canon is now dead. Even though I think you could, I don't know, do a... Oh, Chewbacca. You could probably do a... What's it called? A Legends pack or something. Oh, look, it's a Legends pack. You can now play as Kreia and Scion and Vitiate and stuff like that. From canon, old canon, because why the hell not? Yeah. So, to me, that's also like the crux of it all. But they can still do it. Give it time, and I think they'll do it well. I hope. These guys have pretty good vehicles, and I died again. God damn it. I forget how fast you can actually die in this game. But yeah, so I think in time, I think within a year's time, this game, 2017 game, Battlefront 2 is going to be superior to, honestly, the first game, I think. It depends on what they add. Like I said, if they add more Clone Wars, if they add more offline content, if they add better AI and stuff, and the ability to use super units and all that, we are in the good. And possibly hero AI as well. It's a bit strange that a game from 2005 has better hero AI, or can actually do hero AI, than a game from 2017, but we'll see. You know, if we shoot about it enough, they might actually try it and attempt it and do it. Who knows? Who knows? But you add that in, plus the microtransactions of, well, hopefully clothing and stuff like that, you're going to have a good game. Like, as soon as they announce they've got the system coming out, and they're going to have, I don't know, for $20 you can get the skins or a skin pack or something. I'm probably going to buy the skin pack just because I want to give them the money to get more content, because this is a great game and I want more. I want a bigger arcade mode. I want more customization. I want more maps. I want more vehicles. I want more troopers, and they can give it to us. And heroes and stuff like that. They just have to get that push, and unfortunately money actually is the push they need. Except, you know, DICE was told to do it the wrong way, and they couldn't do it any other way, because, well, if you don't do it the right way, you're fired, right? It wouldn't surprise me if that's the way that they talk, but, you know, don't give EA the biggest attack on, even though they are pieces of shit. Because here's the thing, if EA is going to lose money, they are going to be scared. That scares them a lot. So the idea is to scare them about losing money. That's the idea. Just make them scare them as everything you can that they're going to lose money. But on that, even though you're scaring them, you say, look, you can fix it if you fix it. Because here's the thing, DICE have literally said they're going to try and fix it, and honestly, that's great. Because DICE could have just went, yeah, nah, we fucked up, we didn't make what we wanted. We're going to just cut off development for the game. They haven't done that, and I hope they don't. So either EA or Disney has said, you know what, we fucked up. And it's probably Disney more so than EA, but who knows? I mean, not everybody at EA. EA is a company, not a single person. So not everybody at EA is money hungry fuckwits. I'm sure a lot of them are, but I don't think all of them are. But that's entirely up to what you believe in. Another thing is today, as I'm making this video, I don't know if you'll upload it today, but today I'm uploading this, making the video. The last series of Rebels, the last 2 episodes of Rebels is about to air. No, 3 I think. It's going to be 3 episodes tonight. Or today. I'm in Australia, so I don't know what time it is. Hopefully it's by the time I get back home. And I can just sit down and watch one of the greatest... Well, okay, not the greatest, but it's actually a pretty good TV show. Clone Wars was better. But I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy the game. I mean, the TV show. I don't think they're going to kill off Ezra nor... Ashoka, because first up they just gave us Ashoka back. You can't just give us Ashoka and have her die in the next round, sort of thing. That's dumb. And I don't think they'll kill off the main character because it is Disney. So I imagine what they do is they'll be like, look, we're not gonna kill him. We're gonna basically have him leave the Ghost crew, and maybe Sabine's gonna go with him. Hera's probably gonna stay and fight for Caleb, you know, Caleb Doom. She'll probably fight for Caleb with their rebels and stuff, and then we'll have Resistance or whatever it's going to be called the next one, which will probably follow them as the warriors of the next thing. I don't know. Something like that. As long as Sabine and Ezra are like married and shit and have children, I'm okay. I actually kind of do ship that, because it's like, ah. And they are really good friends. Like they've also been there for a lot of big moments of their lives. So I'm just saying, I'm not against the Sabine and Ezra. It makes a lot more sense than, say, Kylo and Rey, but, you know. And here's another thing. If Kylo and Rey get together somehow, and you love it so much, you cannot complain about Anakin and Padme and absolutely love Rey and Kylo. Why? Or Ben. Why? Because, well, if they get together, it's like, well, hang on. Kylo killed his father in front of her. Kylo killed the father figure of Rey in front of her, and he's kind of wanted to kill Luke. He's kind of insane and stuff, and you're trying to save him? Okay, like, yeah, righto, okay. So, you know, this brutally murdering bastard. At least with Anakin, he was a brutally bastard, like, last half hour of Revenge of the Sith. He was actually a good person for like 90% of his life as Anakin. I guess you could say 100% because he wasn't Vader, but yeah. So you honestly can't complain at all. I mean, you can. I'm just going to think you're full of shit, but, you know, Star Wars fans in general, basically. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I know some of this might be a bit wonky and over the place, but where I'm recording this, it is very early on, because I have to go and do some radio stuff, so... Hey! And that's it, just a short little 20-minute video. Didn't really have much to talk about. I was hoping to play Jedi Academy, or Jedi Knight 2. Jedi Academy I'll hopefully try to buy later on Xbox, but